Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to share these very provocative thoughts to you that no one is going to celebrate your success. Now, how did this topic come about? So, someone wrote to me and said that he posted up a picture of himself and his latest purchase of a sports car. He's a very successful businessman, recently made some money. And he was surprised that comments that he get on Facebook were pretty negative comments from surprisingly some of his friends and certainly some of his business acquaintance and so on. So he wrote to me and said that, why is nobody celebrating my success? And he talked a bit here and there. And I just said this, don't be an idiot. Nobody's going to celebrate your success. He challenged my thought, and I would like to ask everybody, what's your thought on this, right? Let's watch on, shall we? So first and foremost, when you are successful, your friends, right? I'm not talking about your close friends, right? Like the 姐妹兄弟, but general friends, they're not going to celebrate your success. They'll be wondering, why are you successful and they are not? Why are you entitled to your success or not? And most likely, some of your friends, you'll be surprised, they will even spot fine, how come you are able to be so successful? Did you cut corners? Did you break the law? Did you flout certain rules? And so on, right? And of course, they will say that, oh, yeah, just lucky, you met the right person, and so on, right? So, in my experience, general friends are not going to celebrate your success, and your Facebook and your social media are full of these friends. So, what's the point of putting up on social media to flaunt to your friends or about success? They are not going to celebrate your success unless your intention is to invoke negative feeling in them so that you feel better. But by posting your success on social media, you're not going to get people to celebrate with you. So just dream on, shall we? But someone might ask, Mr. Lu, I got close friends, 姐妹 or 兄弟, right? Really, really close sisters and brothers, like kind of friends, right? Let's watch. I would just say this. Most of your close friends may appear to celebrate your success, but I doubt so. In my memory, I may have one or two friends, depending on what I'm successful at, Let's say if I were to win the Olympics, which obviously I'm not because I got no sports skill. I think they will celebrate my success as because, generally Singaporeans will feel proud that someone win a medal and things like that. Most of my friends will either feel nonchalant, cool about it, to the point that they will celebrate my success, especially monetary success, business success. I don't think most of my close friends will celebrate this thing with me. They may not feel jealous or bitter about it. They may be cool and they may even send a word of congrats, that kind of thing, and say, but to say that they will hard feel our success, hard feel your success, I think it's very rare, very, very rare. Maybe you are lucky to have one or two, kind of friends, but I think these kind of friends are very rare. And if you do have them, please cherish them. They are hard to find. This is something that a lot of people are living in their la la land and disillusion. Let me get it clear. I working in the corporate life for 20 over years. I work in the business world for 10 over years. Your colleagues, especially your bosses, peers, and subordinate, are not going to celebrate your success unless your success will bring them success. So first of all, your bosses, when you're successful, let's say you get promoted, they sometimes will congratulate you and they are genuinely happy because when you get promoted, you work harder for him and things like that. But if let's say you win a lottery or you win some money in the stock market or you buy a bigger house or your spouse some success as well, your bosses are going to get jealous for sure. 100%, right? I make this mistake before thinking that, sharing some of my business success with some of my bosses, I realized that, most cases, yeah, they don't. They may not get bitter, because they are maybe also very successful. For them to be genuinely celebrating a success, I think is too far-fetched. Your peers, 99% is going to feel jealous about your success especially in the working place. You get promoted, they don't. You must be joking. When they say congratulations, they really mean it. What they probably mean is that, okay, this time is yours. I hope next time is mine, right? That kind of thing. Your subordinates may celebrate your success because if you get promoted, the chance of them being promoted is higher. So yes, they might celebrate your success and things like that. And or because when you get promoted, you treat them for dinner, things like that. Of course, they're going to celebrate your success and things like that. But to say that genuinely going to celebrate your success, I would just say that unless your success is linked to theirs, I think it's rare. I think it's very, very rare. What about relatives and close one, right? I've been thinking about this. Now, this is controversial. I will also say that your relatives most likely will not celebrate your success simply because your success is not linked to theirs. They may not feel bitter. They may even, feel okay with your success and things like that, to the point that let's say you struck Toto, okay, $1 million, and you could announce to the world, you think your relatives will be celebrating your success? I doubt so, right? I don't know. It depends on kinship, but I think most relatives, cousins, uncles, aunties, niece, nephew, all this, they may not feel bitter, they may not feel negative, but they may not feel jealous, but to the point that they flip the other way and celebrate your success, I think that's a stretch as well. Right? This is controversial. You may disagree with me. Okay, this is even more controversial. I've been thinking about it. Will your siblings celebrate your success? It really depends on their upbringing. Okay, if your siblings are very close together and highly bonded together, most likely your siblings will celebrate your success. But I realize that these kind of siblings are very rare. It depends on upbringing. Did your parents bring you all up in the same way that, there is no sibling rivalry, there's no comparison of one another, there is really brotherhood and sisterhood that are kind of ties together? I'm very fortunate that I have an amazing father, which brings us up in a very amazing way. My siblings are all very close together. I try to do that with my kids, very impartial, no biasness, no favorite children, or all favorites, the kind of thing. But I realize that this is very rare. And once this is very rare by definition, there's a strong likelihood that your siblings may or may not celebrate your success. How many times that when you gossip with your friends and colleagues and things like that, they actually badmouth their own siblings? Oh, I hear that all the time. To say that someone is very proud of their siblings is very rare, very, very rare. Not say no, but very, very rare. The one that is most likely to celebrate your success is your own spouse and your children. It, of course, depends on the degree of relationship as well. If your relationship with your spouse or children is not close, but yet your success is linked to theirs, meaning that when you are successful, they will also enjoy the fruits of your success. They will still be celebrating your success. But I would say most of the case, I'm assuming that your spouse and your children are closely linked to you. I would say that this is the group that is most likely to celebrate your success. But it also depends, right? Because you may not bring up your children properly, and some of them might like you, some of them may not like you, and things like that. So it really depends. But I would say most of the case, your spouse will be likely celebrate your success. But however, I use the word most because I've known of spouses, cases where, for example, the husband, whatever success he has, he keep it to himself and doesn't share with the wife, to the point that the wife want to kidnap the husband and ransom 20 million ringgit, right? That is a very interesting typical case. Of course, that is extreme case. That reflects degree of relationship. If you want your family to celebrate a success with you, I think you got to make sure you have a close knitted family, right? So I think that's very important. This is also a controversial one. Will your parents be celebrating a success? I think that really depends on the type of parents. Right? I would say that most parents are very proud of their children. As they grow older and older, the parents' opinions start to change a little bit. A lot of parents treat their children as a dividend stock, meaning that if their children is successful, they expect the children to share some of the fruits of the success with them. I think that's a very wrong thinking in this current world, but I see quite a lot of parents in this category. And if your parents in this way, yes, they will also celebrate your success, but from a selfish reason. But I think most parents are noble parents. Okay, so I would say that most parents will celebrate your success, and this is going to be very controversial. Some parents have hot favorites, personal favorites among a few children. They like the son more than the daughter. They like the daughter more than the son. And when they see that their hot favorite daughter is not as successful as the son, they might feel negative about it. I would say that this is something that parents ought to reflect on yourself. And really, you may say, I'm not like that, I'm not like that. Do you have your own hot favorite? When you see the not so favorite child doing better than the favorite one, how do you feel? So I'll just say this is very important to not to have favoritism among your children. If you want to make sure that there's no sibling rivalry, and the children will treat you with a lot of genuine love. In most of the case, the children will treat you okay, but the minute you're gone, the sibling rivalry will spark up. Sounds familiar in some big, very prominent cases. I will not elaborate further. I think this is very important. So all said and done, my advice to the person who wrote this to me and my advice to all of you is, so keep your success a private matter. Share with only your immediate family, your spouse, your children, and maybe your siblings if they're close enough, and also your parents. As for friends, relative, close friends, colleagues, bosses, subordinate, I would say, just keep it a private matter away from them. Yeah, I don't think they're going to celebrate a matter. I don't think they're going to celebrate a success. And to make matter worse, they might even get bitter about it. And so what for, right? So some might say, Mr. Lu, what about you? Always flaunting your S&P 500, endowers, how much you may make and things like that. You flaunt your JB house and things like that. Well, that is a financial education. For me, I'm more sharing path to growing wealth. And I want to prove to them that it is possible so that others may learn and do better. And in this case, when I see my movement do well and there are people who outdone me, and nowadays there are a hell of people outdone me in my 1865 movement, and there are people who achieve a 1M32, 1M35, 4M62, and things like that, all achieving far higher than me. I'm happy because my movement is successful, okay? And more people are gaining grounds and things like that. But if I get to know them as a person or whatsoever, privately a little bit of it is that, damn, I also want to do better than them, right? Which I do. I'm also human. I also want to outdo them, so therefore I run the race. As for my JB house, it's just showing off to everybody. No, it's not. I think it's if I want to show off, I got to show off something more showy, right? Is to share with people that you can retire in JB with a lot less, so that you can live a easier retirement life away from the inflationary fire. So I think that's my purpose. Some people may not take it positively and still view me as a showy. To hell with you, right? I don't care. Yeah, I think I'll continue a movement of educating everybody how to maximize your returns with your CPF, and also to have a great retirement. What do you think about this thought that very few people, unless your most immediate family, are going to celebrate your success? I'm happy to hear your comments in the YouTube comments. Also share some comments in our Telegram channel, and I'll see you in a day or two. Bye bye.